You talking about John Corzine? No, you know why? I don't believe in looking back. I think that that kind of retributive justice in a public setting is not productive. I think the problems facing the state are so serious and so grave. And by the way, in fairness to him, he didn't do it all. There's a long chain of guilty bastards associated with this thing. And I've seen them and I've known them. Just to give you an idea, most of the people I know who have been convicted of criminal offenses are former legislators. Yeah, isn't that an embarrassing statement? It's the truth. I think we have to look ahead. My concern is not just about you, it's about my own children and about my grandchild. I have one grandchild. I want to leave them a state of which we can be proud. I want to leave them a state which is solvent and sustainable. I cannot do that by myself. I can start us on the road, and that's all I can do. And then it's up to other people to pick up the torch. You know, Ronald Reagan, and I'm sorry to make quotes, but once in a while Ronald Reagan came up with a good one. And one of the ones he came up with, he said, you know, freedom is always one generation from extinction. Folks, this is no exaggeration. And freedom, in Reagan's time, he was talking about the Soviet Union in particular. Our enemy is not from without in the United States anymore. Yeah, we do have enemies, but they're not going to take us down. Our enemy is within. It is the willingness of people, and we all understand that slavery is unacceptable, forcible slavery. However, there is an entirely different movement that says dependency is not only okay, it's going to be encouraged. There is a movement that says it's okay for America to have a divided society, speaking different languages, living in different circles, maybe even working for different wage levels. That's not okay. But to do that, America has to adhere to certain principles. And those principles consist of, first and foremost, respect for the rule of law. So the Constitution does matter, matters hugely. And it's up, not to me, it's up to you to defend it. Because no one person can do this. I mean, one of the huge problems we have in New Jersey is we keep looking for a hero. Same problem that we had at the national level. We were looking for a hero to rescue us. You want to know who the guilty bastards are? Go in the bathroom, turn on the light, and look in the mirror. Not so much you young people, because you haven't had your chance yet, but out to the other folks in my age cohort, go look in the mirror. If you're unhappy with what's happening to this state, and I think most people are, it's because too many of us have decided not to participate. I'm a silver bullet. I'm not running for re-election. I'm running for a new office. If I don't get it, my life doesn't end. I've had 12 years in the Assembly, and I've been proud of each and every day. I can go home and say I voted the way I wanted to vote and that I thought represented the people of my district. But I'm a silver bullet. There's nothing they can do to me. And Carl pinned it. We do not have democracy in New Jersey. We have the illusion of democracy. We have organizations, both Republican and Democrat, that are controlled by a small group of insiders, and they're calling the shots. And right now, by the way, they're trying to decide who the nominees in this election are. They are trying to steal your right to choose the next governor of New Jersey. And you know what's scary? With enough money and enough organization, they may just get away with it. I find that very troubling. I actually would like a real democracy where the people get to make the choices without the political bosses intervening. And I'm seeing this up close and personal right now. It's very hard for a non-anointed candidate to get any kind of public attention or media coverage. And you know why? Because you know what, folks, I'll tell you something. The media is in on the gag. They're part of the power structure that exists in Trenton. They like being part of the power structure that exists in Trenton. This is not civics 101 I'm talking. I'm talking real hardcore, hard-knuckle politics. That's the way it is. New Jersey, rise up and smite this dragon. Have your revolution, but have it at the ballot box. Because if you don't have it at the ballot box, someday you may have to have it somewhere else. And that's the way it is.
Unfortunately, we're running low on time, so we're going to take our last question from Marianne.
Hi, so happy to be here and hear you. My name is Marianne Houck, I'm from Chatham, and I just want to follow up on a couple things you said and make sure I understand them. You gave us the numbers about unfunded pensions, unfunded health benefits, and the state debt. And I just want to make sure I understand if that is on an annual budget basis or if that's compounded over the years. And my other question is, you talked about the equal funding for every single student in New Jersey. On a grassroots level, I was wondering if you could speak to what we should do, where we start with that to start fighting for that and getting attention for that. And have you ever run through Chatham?
Yes. I did better than that. I lived in Chatham for a number of years. Actually, I used to run through Chatham almost every night. And I may actually have to ask you to repeat portions of that. First of all, on the long-term obligation, that is exactly what I said it is. It is a long-term obligation totaling close to $200 billion. It is not, thank God, it is not an annual budget. I mean, but to put it in context, the annual budget of the state of New Jersey, stated annual budget's about $31 billion. Maybe 33. I guess this year it's 33. So you're talking about an obligation that is 6 times the annual income of the state of New Jersey. That's why we're in trouble. If a family were looking at that kind of obligation, the average family in New Jersey makes about $60,000. That would mean having a credit card debt that's probably somewhere on the order of $350,000. That family would be looking at declaring bankruptcy